Good morning, Harry. So today we're going to be talking about sweeps. We went over a couple of these in our lesson, and so we're going to recap them today. So let's take the key of E, and we're going to start off with the E minor sweep, which starts on the 5th string on the 7th fret. So the first three notes, there's one note per string, so we have 7, 5, 4, 5, and then you have two notes on the high E, 3 and 7. The picking for this is the most important part. When we do this, we want to make sure that we have a steady picking hand and on our right side, and what you're going to do is you're actually going to pick through. You're not going to pick and then stop like this. That's possible, but it's not going to be the most efficient way for us. What we want to do is we want to drag through the strings. And you might even just want to do that a couple times. That's a really great exercise for learning how to sweep. Just feeling, the difference between like just dragging and like raking your pick up and down the notes as opposed to picking each string, because we can still up pick and down pick things, but it's not the same as sweeping, which is a very fluid. It almost sounds like the notes are like connected within, as opposed to being somewhat separated, which was why sweeps have such a legato sound to them, which means a long sustain on them, and are more drawn out, instead of a more staccato sound, which would be what picking gives you. So when you do this, you're gonna sweep all the way up to the 3rd fret on your high E. And this is a good exercise to do. Practice each direction at first if it's a little too much, and you can isolate this. That's going to be a little bit harder, but it'll only help you in the end. After that, we're going to actually up pick on the 7, and then pull off back to the 3 on the high E, and then continue the upward sweep for the last 4 notes. And what's most important to be mindful of when you're sweeping too is your setup. You gotta always set up your fingers so they can be where they need to be before they need to be there, which is an interesting concept, because how can your fingers be somewhere first before they need to be there when they're playing other notes? Easy, because when you do sweeps, your fingers aren't staying on these. You don't want your notes to be. You don't want there to be any bleed from note to note. You want there to be a very short time in between each of them. That's why when you do this, it's really important that you work on having a clean entrance and departure from each note. So you see how there is no bleed from any other notes there? That's what we want, because as soon as that's done, my pinky is free to go wherever it needs to be next. And the same thing goes for my middle finger, because the middle finger is getting used as much as the index fingers, which is both twice. So when you watch, my middle finger is already ready to play that next note, and my first finger is already at that 3rd fret ready to go as well. Especially with these kinds of sweeps, you have big stretches. You need to be very accurate with these. Sweeping, though it appears to be kind of a lazy concept, you just drag your pick down and you move your notes where you gotta go. Despite the ease and joy which comes with playing them, the accuracy is necessary when doing them. So really focus on that. I'll show you one other shape today that is also a minor shape, and we'll go over major ones in the next lesson. This minor shape is a minor 7 shape. So we're going to start on E again. And so we start on the 7th fret on our A string, and this one has sometimes 2 notes per string, so we're going to have to incorporate hammer-ons and pull-offs when we do this, so it's a little bit more of an advanced sweep. So we have on the A string 7 and 9, sorry, 7 and 10, so minor third, and then we go up to the 5, which is 9 on our D string, and then we have 7 and 9, which is the flat 7, that's why it's called the minor 7, and the 1, so 7 and 9, and then we have one note on the B string, which is going to be 8, it's our 8th fret, which is our G, our 3rd, and then we have 5th fret, and then 8th fret again, 10th fret, excuse me. Now the thing with this one is finding that rhythm between the hammer-ons and the one note per string pattern. It's going to really be because the way it maps out is because we have first string is 2 notes, second string is 1 note, third string is 2 notes, so on and so on. So it's every other string has 2 notes on it. That way we can really understand what consistency we need to anticipate, again anticipating what we need to do and how we can accomplish it. So you got to be really on point with your hammer-ons, and that can be achieved with the metronome and really staying on beat. And just breaking the sweep, if you break the sweep up, I guarantee it'll be a lot easier. Now for me, I actually break the sweep up a little differently than most would. I actually go down, pick, down, hammer-on, down pick, and then up stroke, hammer-on. Now this alone, the first 3 strings, are a great exercise. And that's the reason I mainly do an upstroke on the 3rd string, which is our G string. So down, hammer-on, down, up, hammer-on, and then down, down. And then actually for that one I actually do a hammer-on pull-off. No, I don't. And the same thing goes for this one. Down, up, pull-off. And the great thing about both of these sweeps we talked about, the regular minor one and the minor 7 one, are they are extremely useful in breaking up and working on different things to improve your dexterity. I think sweeps are the epitome of dexterity because you have to have the most accuracy with them. So again, down, hammer-on, down, up, hammer-on, down, down, up, pull-off, down, sorry, up, pull-off, up, pull-off. So the coming down is a little bit different, but this is a great one. You can really hop around with it. It's great for, you know, jazzy sounding things, especially, you know, the cool thing about sweeps, and this is a little bit of jazz theory for you. When you play them, you can take the 3rd note of the chord and make that either the major or minor relative to the root. So let's say we're playing a C major 7. The 3rd in C is E. And in the sequence of major and minor in the key of C, we have major, minor, minor. And what's the 3rd? E. So, because E is the 3rd in C, we can use that quality of that chord from the parent key and make a sweep out of it. So over C, so try that too, and the same thing goes with this one as well. Cool. I hope this helps, and we'll continue sweeps in our next video. Thanks for watching. Have a beautiful day.